Breaking Barriers, Representation in Contemporary Musical Films. Title: Breaking Barriers, Representation in Contemporary Musical Films. Introduction. In recent years, there has been a notable shift in the landscape of musical films, particularly in terms of representation. Traditionally, musical films have been dominated by a relatively narrow range of stories and characters, often centered around white, heterosexual individuals. However, contemporary musical films are breaking barriers by embracing diversity and offering a more inclusive representation on screen. This article explores the significance of this shift, the impact it has on audiences, and highlights examples of films that have contributed to this change. Embracing diversity in storytelling. One of the most significant changes in contemporary musical films is the diversification of storytelling. Filmmakers are no longer limiting themselves to the same old tropes and narratives but are instead taking risks and exploring a wider range of experiences. This has opened up opportunities for underrepresented groups to tell their own stories and be seen on the big screen. Musical films have historically struggled with representing marginalized communities. However, recent releases such as Crazy Rich Asians and In the Heights have shattered barriers by showcasing the experiences of Asian and Latinx communities, respectively. These films not only provide audiences with a chance to see themselves represented but also offer a window into cultures that have been overlooked or misunderstood in mainstream cinema. Breaking gender stereotypes. Another aspect of representation that contemporary musical films are tackling is gender stereotypes. Traditionally, musicals have adhered to strict gender roles, often portraying women as helpless damsels or femmes fatales, and relegating men to positions of power and control. However, modern musicals are challenging these stereotypes and presenting more complex and nuanced characters. Films like La La Land and A Star Is Born have portrayed female characters who are not just love interests but have their own aspirations, dreams, and emotional depth. These characters are given agency and the opportunity to drive the story forward, breaking free from the confines of traditional gender roles. By doing so, these films empower young girls and women, showing them that they can be active participants in their own stories. LGBTQ+ representation in musical films. The inclusion of LGBTQ+ characters and narratives is another crucial aspect of the push for increased representation in contemporary musical films. While the Broadway stage has long provided more opportunities for LGBTQ+ stories, the big screen has been slower to follow suit. However, recent films like Rocketman and The Prom have made significant strides in representing queer characters and their experiences. Movies like Rocketman celebrate the life and career of legendary musician Elton John while highlighting the struggles he faced as a gay man in the music industry. Similarly, The Prom tells the story of a group of Broadway actors who rally around a lesbian high school student barred from taking her girlfriend to prom. By putting queer characters at the center of their narratives, these films help foster understanding and empathy, while also providing much-needed representation for LGBTQ+ audiences. Diverse casting and authenticity. Alongside diverse storytelling, contemporary musical films are also challenging the lack of diversity in casting. In the past, we have seen instances of whitewashing, where white actors are cast in roles that should have been filled by actors from marginalized communities. However, recent films are making conscious efforts to cast actors who authentically represent the characters they portray. Films like Hamilton, which began as a stage musical, demonstrate the power of diverse casting. This deliberate choice not only allows more actors of color to shine but also serves as an inspiration for aspiring performers who have previously felt excluded. The impact on audience and society. The increased representation in contemporary musical films has had a profound impact on audiences and society as a whole. By presenting stories that reflect diverse experiences, these films foster empathy, understanding, and connection among viewers. Audiences are given an opportunity to see themselves and their communities on screen, which helps validate their experiences and makes them feel seen and heard. Additionally, increased representation also has a ripple effect on society. When marginalized communities are given a voice and presence in popular culture, it helps break down stereotypes and prejudices that exist in the real world. It normalizes diversity and encourages acceptance, ultimately fostering a more inclusive and compassionate society. Title: Breaking Barriers, Representation in Contemporary Musical Films Part 2. The role of soundtracks in representation. Another aspect to consider when discussing representation in contemporary musical films is the role of soundtracks. Music has the power to transcend barriers and connect people on a deep emotional level. In recent years, musical films have utilized soundtracks as a means of enhancing representation and showcasing diverse voices. Films like Black Panther and Moana have embraced their cultural roots and incorporated music that reflects the heritage and experiences of the characters and communities they represent. By featuring songs and compositions that draw from specific cultures and traditions, these films not only add authenticity but also serve as a celebration of diversity. Furthermore, contemporary musical films are also giving voice to artists from various backgrounds. Collaborations with musicians from different genres and backgrounds are becoming more common, resulting in soundtracks that feature a wide range of musical styles and perspectives. This not only adds depth and richness to the overall film experience but also provides a platform for underrepresented musicians to showcase their talent. Educating and inspiring through storytelling. Representation in musical films goes beyond mere entertainment, it has the power to educate and inspire. By introducing audiences to different cultures, experiences, and perspectives, these films promote understanding and encourage viewers to broaden their horizons. Films like Mamma Mia and Les Miserables transport audiences to different time periods and locations, immersing them in historical and cultural contexts that they may not have been familiar with. Through captivating storytelling and compelling characters, these movies create opportunities for learning and personal growth. Additionally, contemporary musical films often tackle important social issues and advocate for social change. Whether it's addressing issues of racism, inequality, or LGBTQ+ rights, these films have the ability to provoke thought and ignite conversations. They serve as a platform for marginalized communities to share their stories and shed light on the challenges they face, ultimately contributing to societal progress.